I don't know if this is going to hold or not. What I'm saying is, okay, folks, let's just jump right into it. So again, on the list is going to be ZIM for you to look at tomorrow. Why? Look at this volume in here. And I know people are saying when this $17 dividend hits, that's going to be the end of it and then it's going to come in. So while you're waiting for that, this is when we started buying it in the newsletter. There's a free version of the newsletter down below. Simply click on the link in the description and you can get a copy of it. But you see what I'm talking about here? We talked about this in the top 10 video, and we talked about it yesterday. I'm gonna hammer this home again. So you're seeing these levels break, and as you break, you can go parabolic. Parabolic, very similar to what we saw with UPST before, right? Now look at this, and how you flip this level, and look at how you're closing. More and more people are getting this. It's really important to understand one key thing. People are looking at the fact that they had a $2.50 dividend previously, and now they have a $17 dividend. What people are not understanding is that the dividend increases the more money they make in containers. They have the best shipping routes based upon Southeast Asia, period. It's undeniable. If you read the report that I linked, they're actually up 139% in their pricing power right now. So in my opinion, this is just getting started, and I would start thinking about where could this possibly go if you started seeing something as simple as a $10 dividend every quarter. So just think about it from that perspective. But I like this, and I would strongly recommend that you look at this again tomorrow and just see if you get over 85 and a quarter. Get over 85 and a quarter and just keep moving your stop up. So I think it's a home run. I can't be any clearer. Now, we had a major change in some of these today. We had a big shift. And I think it's really important to focus on that. Stay to the end because we're going to do the indexes again. I need to go over the VIX, and we also need to go over TNX. So what you have here essentially, it's not perfect, it's a little wonky, but essentially what you have here is a bullish engulfing. But more important than the bullish engulfing is the fact that I broke the 200-day and the next day we're back over it. Now, you have a war going on. You have sanctions against companies. You have China shutting down their Foxconn plant. Stock's up 3% today. It tells you everything you need to know, right? Bad news. Stock goes up equals buy. I mean, you can literally take that equation, remember it, and use it. Now, whether this is sustainable or not remains to be seen. Right now, I think we're going through something very similar to what we saw in January 28th when we moved up for a couple days, but that remains to be seen. No one's going to ring a bell for us at the bottom. BTU looks to be filling in this wedge and doing a pretty good job of it. All I would look for tomorrow is for this to get over $22, and then if you're interested in this trade, it could be something that you could pull off. If you look at the RSI, you can see how it's following perfectly. I like this. I like the undergap that we had today, and I like how you tried to close over, didn't, stopped at the 5. Maybe this works, maybe it doesn't, but if it does get over this and break this wedge line, then you start looking at these areas, let's get an exact number for you, 23.90, and then you'd work your way up. Look, oil is not going away as far as pricing power. You have Saudi Arabia discussing the fact that they might move to a different currency than the US dollar. What do you think that's going to do to the oil market? So keep these things in mind. Now, other names that were kind of fascinating today, and it's been a while since we looked at names like this, Taiwan Semi, and I'll go through this. I'll cover the stocks too. But this is what we need to know. And for those that are in the trading room, they should have spotted this or should be able to spot this if they didn't see it today. Most people are not looking at this because they're worried about geopolitical tensions, because of what's going on with China and Taiwan right now. I think with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, it would make them more apprehensive to move than apprehensive to move. I have a RSI positive divergent. I have a bullish engulfing at the bottom of where support is right here. I don't know if this is going to hold or not. What I'm saying is Taiwan Semi is the kind of stock that you buy when it's ugly. If you go back and you take a look at this chart over a period of time, every single time you bought the breakout, it did not work. So how can you fix that? Very simple. All you're going to do here is you're going to look at this 104 level and you're going to watch that. Now, you don't have to wait for 104. What I would look for is just see if you flip the 5 tomorrow, the 5-day moving average. Get over 102 and a quarter. You could put the trade on. You don't have to use this low of 97.62 as a stop. You could use whatever the low of the day is when it breaks. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then just blow it out and wait. But if you're looking long term, which a lot of people in the trading room are, and a lot of the DMs and emails that I'm getting are, this is when you start looking. Okay, when you have 5 factors that are out there that are really, really bad, and we're going to start getting some uncertainty become certain. We have the Fed this week. We had the VIX expiration today. We have quad witching coming up. Okay, we're getting all these dates and we're getting certainty on what's going to happen. As we get more certainty, more inflows of equities will go into the market. We just don't know where yet. But I think we're heading towards semis because the other one on the list is Nvidia. Now, these are all my levels, and what I should probably do with it just to clean this all up is let's get rid of everything. And let's just focus on one of the core concepts. The very first one is that we are above the 5-day. Now let's just take a look at where we are in the 50 and where we are on the 8. So the 8 is crossing to the upside. The 5 is crossing the 8 to the upside. Now, if we went and took a look at that and realized when the last time that happened, that was here. The last time the 5 and the 8 crossed was here. And if we bought from here and you traded it up, there's about 20 points there. Am I saying that we're heading right back up? No, what I'm saying is I think you have the possibility of getting over the 200, over the 21, and retesting this possible level. That takes me to 247. That's what I'm looking for here. Again, no one's going to ring a bell at the bottom, but I do think it's important to note what's going on with the RSI. You can see pretty clear right here, and you can see these levels, right? So we are turning. We do have a short-term buy signal right here with the 5-8 cross. I did a video on that. You can find it in the uploads on the website. Subscribe and click all notifications because I do private videos, and the one that went out today would have showed the key levels to watch for the cues and probably would have been extremely helpful. So now let's talk about the VIX. And I don't want to get rid of all these levels because I want to use some of these. And I think it's really important that people get this. So let's click off these indicators because it's basically in trendless, right? So if it's trendless, they're not really that helpful. Now let's just zoom into this section from January to the year so we can see. You start at the beginning of the year at 17. That's why your option trades work, and this is why your option trades are not working right now, right? It's extremely painful. What I would argue is that you have a pattern that is set up today. That pattern's pretty clear to me. This was my wedge line. I broke the wedge line. I tried to get back over it. I failed with this line being resistance, this 33.5. And if you scroll over, you can see how we were unable to close above that 33.5. Bonk, 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 right? One day, and then we just bonked, and that was it. Then we broke the rising wedge. When you break a rising wedge, you can have a falling rope, right? Or a frozen rope, rather, is what I say. And then they can come back down. So I refer to them as frozen ropes because they're just usually straight. But you have another signal here. You have a bearish engulfing pattern sitting right here as we failed to break the upper wedge line. This tells us that the VIX is going to come in, which makes sense considering the VIX expiration today. As the VIX expired and people got rid of their volatility, what happened? The indexes went up, right? If we take a look at how this played out today, it's pretty clean, okay? This was the level that I was just talking about. I actually showed this again in that private video. So make sure you subscribe because you would have seen this today and you would have seen this level and maybe saved you 1% or 3% trade on TQQ. Anyway, you see this and you see how you're breaking out. You can start seeing how they started putting money to work. When could you figure that out? Here's 9:30. What happens at 9:30? Bullish engulfing. It's been a long trading day, man. Bullish engulfing. And I was just looking at the VIX all day today, frankly. But see this level? See how you flip it and then you fail and then it comes back and then you go? Like this is what you want to see. This is constant buying. Falling wedge breaks the falling wedge. This is the kind of action you want to see, and this is the kind of action we got today. I don't know if this is going to hold. I don't know if it's a bottom. No one's going to ring a bell, but I will tell you this. When you have these H patterns and they fail to break, can be a very powerful move. And that's something to think about. So if you make a higher high tomorrow, watch out because I think a lot of people are going to cover and not want to be short. We made a higher high here today. You can see your levels. Are we out of the woods? No, but we do have a 5-8 cross here, and that's important. We do have an RSI that's rising. If we look at here, we have an RSI that's rising. So let's point this out so that you can see it. Okay, so I have an RSI that's rising. The RSI is rising at the same time here. Now I was asked again in the trading room, what about this is what makes today different? Well, when was the last positive RSI divergence we had on the daily? I mean, I can't tell you, right? I don't even think we had one this year just by looking at it. I don't even see one. So based upon that, this is significant. It might hold, it might not, but it does give us a pretty clear exit strategy if it doesn't hold. IWM's not going to see as much of the action right now. People are going to go to high beta, play catch up. Eventually this will catch up, but this is hanging in there, the IWM. Let's talk about what also happened today. We went up 3% in the Qs and 2% in the SPY while people were selling bonds. What's that tell you? It tells you that people want equities. So in other words, we're selling bonds, we're selling the VIX, and we're buying equities. That's what happened today. There's really no other way to explain it. Now, whether this holds or not remains to be seen. So please like this video. It helps and supports the channel. And if you're looking for more content, just click on the website and it will take you to other free educational videos that will explain some of the concepts I went over tonight. Have a great evening, everyone. Trade to win tomorrow.